Last week we discussed the energy crisis in South Africa and more in particular load shedding. The title of that video was Kollaps, meaning where are you going? You can go and have a look on my channel, it's there. I'll also leave a link in the description box. Once again, like we all do, please like and subscribe, leave a comment below so I can get your thoughts as well. I'm Klaas and welcome to Urban Bug. If you ask me Kollaps today, then I'm going to say to you, in my personal opinion, we are going downhill like a freight train at full speed, virtually unstoppable. Why I'm saying that is, during this week, one of the minor role players in the media industry in South Africa, and when I'm saying minor, is first of all they reported in Afrikaans, which was unusual. They reported after an interview with an energy specialist that if Eskom does not get its act together, we might soon sit at stage 11 load shedding. Now, if you recall what happened in the past couple of weeks, we were at some stage there was talk of stage 10 load shedding, which never materialized because straight after that was the long weekend with all the religious holidays in the beginning of April, and we had virtually no load shedding. Then there was also always the threat of up to stage 8. Now at the moment, if you recall what happened in the past week, we were sitting at stage 6 or 7 with a total of 11.5 hours of electricity lost. Now if we go up to stage 11, it's going to mean you are going to sit without electricity for a total of 16.5 hours per day. That's a lot of time without electricity. Now imagine how you've been moaning about stage 2 with only 2 hours of load shedding. Okay, that was before the time when everybody had a UPS and solar energy or a generator. This is now. We're sitting at a potential or threatening stage 11 load shedding. And in this, the ANC this week said by mouth of their puppet, the South African Broadcasting Corporation, or the SABC, that they will curb load shedding. Really? So if you look at them, their word is just as much as a grain of sand in the wind. And we've come to know them, that whatever they say, there's no truth in that. They cannot get what they say progress to fruition. It just doesn't happen. And in the same week also, the energy or electricity minister, Kgosienso Ramokgopa, gave the green light for the generation of private energy, or the privatization of, any way you want it, privatization of energy generation or private energy generation, and he said we must be bold in allowing that. Now, that has been discussed for many years. Since we started with this load shedding thing, I think in 2015, and there were a lot of people that said, you know what, Eskom should privatize. It never happened. I'm sure it was discussed in Parliament as well. It was discussed in the corridors of the bureaucracy. Eskom should privatize. But that was not the plan. The plan was and still is to collapse the grid. Because you know what? So that the boarding school buddies and their organizations or related organizations can move in. Now in 2022 already, Remgrow, their energy exchange company, it's called the Energy Exchange. It's owned by Remgrow, and Remgrow is also owned by selected people in the boarding school buddies environment. Boarding school buddies, talking about the Ruperts, the Motsepes, the Oppenheimers, a lot of other people. Old money. It goes very, very far. You're not born and you start making money. You are born with money. Old money, and you can trace that old money back and back and back and back. Because certain people are earmarked for certain things. Just like the prodigal son from Zim. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. So once the grid collapses, we're going to see these people moving in. And there's already a license given to one of these boarding school buddies, or his company, for that matter, to continue with the generation of electricity. Privatization, that's what we've got. So what happens if you privatize this thing and you start generating, you're putting back into the grid? Money. It's all about money. Money is going somewhere. Money is not going here. And let's talk about money for a few seconds here. If you look at the 550 billions a couple of years ago, when this whole new thing, this whole shift in society started, and quite recently another 100 odd billion that was given to alleviate load shedding. Where's that money gone? It's being sidetracked somewhere else, so that in the end that money is ready to step in for these boarding school buddies and their related organizations like the Solidarities and the AfriForums to step in, repair the grid and give you electricity without any breakdowns. Now, to give you an idea that it's quite possible, we're sitting with, and I said last week, we're sitting with Grootvlei and Camden, 70 to 90% electricity. Same age, buddies, built same time, same years of service. Sitting at 37 to 43%. Same design, same, and I said in the beginning that Eskom must get the act together. It's not Eskom the company. It's something surrounding Eskom. And we know that it's corruption, it's theft, wet coal, all the good grade coal being exported elsewhere. So the mineral resources of South Africa are being emptied so that certain people can gain and then get recognition when they start repairing the grid in South Africa to give you electricity. The whole thing is about money. The whole thing is about a plan. And if you cannot see the plan yet, and I urged you last week already, I said to you, these guys are bullshitting here. There's a plan. The whole plan is to collapse South Africa. Look where we were 25 years ago. I'm not talking about 24 years ago. It's 25. Let's give that where we were at our peak. Brilliant defense force. They know their left from their right. Brilliant police force. Corruption was at a low. We had brilliant infrastructure. We had our farmers weren't murdered. Everything was fine. Railways were there. Roads were without potholes. This whole thing is an exercise or a project in decay to bring South Africa, that used to be such a strong country, to its knees. Take everything away. The most loveliest railway stations in the middle of the Karoo, we were having all these old steam locomotives on the station. When you get into the station, there's this brilliantly maintained old museum piece. Now, rust it. You hit it with a hammer, hit it good. It's just one cloud of orange. And that's where we are at the moment. Right. You're probably waiting for this one. The writer? The writer was, in my opinion, doing a good job. Maybe too good. That's why they tried to give him some powdery substance in his coffee. Gave him a runny tummy, and he decided, no way. But at that point, he was already making enough noise to make a few people worried. Squeamish, that's the word I'm looking for, squeamish. He was making a lot of noise, enough noise to make a few people squeamish. So they decided, you know what, it's time for him to get his powder. But fortunately, it came out good. Where the writer is now, nobody knows. But everybody says, everybody is pointing at the writer for where Eskom is at the moment. The accumulation of load shedding stages. But the only thing he actually did was make enough noise to distract you from what is actually happening. He did a good job, he maintained everything, and yeah, now he's gone. Could have done better, but he was not allowed to. Remember, each of these ones, the media outlets, all of them are puppets. Like the ANC is saying they're going to curb load shedding. It's a shill. They're playing you. There's so much bullshit flying around that you are going to be so surprised. Go and dig a bit deeper. You'll see where all this is going. That's from me. That's all from me. Please like and subscribe. Comment at the bottom. Stay prepared. Stay safe. South Africa is not a friendly place. See you next week.